Hello and welcome to Horologique. I am Olivier, and today I wanted to bring to you the most affordable automatic Rolex Submariner homage that you can find today, and we're going to be seeing if it's actually any good. So I paid 16 euros, 18 euros shipped for this watch, and I am dismayed because as of today this watch is on sale for 13 euros and 75 cents. So we're going to be looking closer at this watch. We're going to be looking at the quality, at the movement accuracy report, at the lume, and of course the positive, negative points to see if even at 13 euros this watch is worth it and what you can get instead, of course, if it's not. So let's get right into it. So first of all, the packaging. I was impressed that this watch arrived actually in a little box. Nothing special, nothing fancy, but a little box indeed, where you can find a little styrofoam for the watch to be protected. And it comes in this styrofoam, and you even get a little tool to size the bracelet, and even a little cloth to wipe the watch, and a little instruction booklet, which is more than you can expect for this price. You have watches that are worth 4 or 5 times more than these that come in jiffy bags. So let's start by the dimensions. It pretty much keeps the dimensions of the Submariner. So you've got a diameter of 40 millimeters, you've got a height of 14 millimeters, you've got a lug-to-lug of 47 millimeters, and you've got a lug width of 20 millimeters. The bracelet goes from 20 and it tapers to a non-Submariner like 17.5 millimeters and back at 19 at the clasp. So the face of the watch has an applied FNGEEN logo. You've got a dated 3 and a cyclops, and as you can see, the cyclops is not centered at all, and that will of course be on the negative section. The indices are all applied and they're lumed as well. On top of the applied indices, you've got the lume paint, and the lume paint is pretty badly applied and it overflows the indices. That 12 index is very much crooked on my version. The bezel is stainless steel, and as you can see, it's graduated from 0 to 15 like a Submariner. And the action is, well, not too bad considering the price of this timepiece. But yeah, as you would expect, it doesn't line up. But what else did you expect? Much more expensive watches don't line up as well. So the crown is not signed, so the case is fully polished, as you can see. Polish on the sides, polish on the crown, polished on top of the lugs. It's pretty much polished everywhere. That's a cost-saving measure. And the bracelet is an oyster style, with the middle links that are polished and the side links that are brushed. The bracelet has folded links, hollow end links, and just a pressed clasp. The clasp has 3 micro adjustments, and it's a single push, and it is not signed. And the good thing is that you have a see-through caseback. So I couldn't find any information about the movement on AliExpress, but from what I can gather on the internet, the movement is a Tongjin movement. What I can tell you is that the movement is a 21,600 BPH movement. It doesn't hack, but it hand winds. The decoration is very rough, as you can see in the macros. And the accuracy, as you can see, is far from great, ranging from -20 to -30, with a pretty low amplitude and a pretty high bit error. But again, please remember the price of this watch. The loom is not bad at all. It's actually better on the indices than on the hands. So now let's talk about the good and the bad. First, let's be positive, the good. And the first good thing is the price of this watch. If you want to treat yourself to a Rolex Submariner homage for $13, you can get something, and something that is not a throwaway, that you can wear and pretty much keep, and it will not fall apart immediately. That in itself is something. Second good point, you've got a see-through caseback. And it might not be the best looking movement, but in any case it is there and you can see it. And of course, that pretty decent loom is another surprising positive that I really didn't expect. Well, another positive would be the turning bezel. I have had watches that are 10 times the price of these that have much worse rotating bezels. Now let's go to the bad. And as you can imagine, there's a lot to say here. And of course, the first would be the QC issues. I wouldn't mind wearing this watch if it didn't have that crooked 12 in the C. And it's not only the index, it's also the paint that has been applied on the index. The index was already crooked, and the application of the loom is even more crooked. So it's all over the place. I don't mind as much the missed application on the other indices, but that 12 index just shows too much. Second negative would be the bracelet. And the bracelet, as you would imagine, is, well, it's not fluid at all, as you can see. The links are hollow, the end links are hollow, the clasp is pressed. What else did you expect for 13 euros? I think it's already pretty amazing that you even have a bracelet at this price point. Remember that 13 euros maybe buys you an entry-level bracelet, let alone a watch, a whole automatic watch. Another negative would be that movement. It's an unknown quantity, and you don't know if that movement is going to be working next week, next month, next year. So, would I recommend this watch for 13 euros? I can tell you that if that 12 index was not crooked, I would be recommending this watch all the way. So maybe if you can get one that doesn't have as big a QC issue as this one, if you want to have fun, if you want to experiment, maybe if you want to open the watch and try to tinker it a bit and not be afraid to break it because this is 13 euros after all, well, go ahead, suit yourself. But in case you want to watch for every day, I would much better recommend a USD Pagani Design watch. This watch is the USD Submariner that I have already reviewed on this channel, and this watch, even though it's 5 times the price of this one, is 10 times the watch, if not more. You just have to hold it. The quality is so much better. The movement is a Seiko NH35. And the quality of all the components is just 10, 20 times better. So I would suggest to you to, instead of spending 13 euros or 14 or 15 or whatever it costs when you get this watch, spend maybe just a little bit more and get yourself a USD. I will be posting the links to both these watches on the description of this video. So that's it for me. I think I'm going to be tinkering with this watch a bit. I'm going to be seeing if I can regulate it. If maybe I can go ahead and try to straighten that 12 triangle, and maybe, just maybe, I can make this watch better or I can break it, and as it's only 13 euros, I don't mind. So thank you so much for having watched the video. Don't hesitate to subscribe, to comment, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Goodbye.